Good morning children, welcome to the Shivaji Group of Institution online classes. Kids, I am your Hindi teacher. Today I am going to take Hindi literature class. बच्चों, पिछली कक्षा में मैंने आपको हिंदी में पाठशाला की रीडिंग कराई थी और उसके कुछ अभ्यास कार्य कराए थे। बच्चों, आज मैं आपको उसी चैप्टर के आगे अभ्यास कार्य कराने जा रही हूँ। तो अभ्यास है भाषा की बात, पेज संख्या है 27। तो चलिए हम आपको पढ़ाना शुरू करते हैं। बच्चों, सबसे पहले आज हम आपको क्या पढ़ाएंगे? अभ्यास संख्या 1, नीचे दिए गए वाक्यों में से उद्देश्य और विधेय छांट कर लिखिए। तो बच्चों, आपको उद्देश्य विधेय तो पता नहीं है, तो चलिए आज हम आपको पहले उद्देश्य और विधेय के बारे में पढ़ाना शुरू करते हैं। शब्दों के सार्थक समूह को वाक्य कहते हैं और वाक्य के दो अंग हैं, उद्देश्य और विधेय। शब्दों के सार्थक समूह को वाक्य कहते हैं और वाक्य के दो अंग हैं, उद्देश्य और विधेय। जिसके बारे में कोई बात कही जाए उसे उद्देश्य कहते हैं और उद्देश्य के बारे में जो कुछ कहा जाए उसे विधेय कहते हैं। इसकी डेफिनेशन एक बार फिर से हम आपको बता देते हैं कि जिसके बारे में कोई बात कही जाए उसे उद्देश्य कहते हैं और उद्देश्य के बारे में जो कुछ कहा जाए उसे विधेय कहते हैं। तो चलिए उसी से रिलेटेड अभ्यास कार्य करना शुरू करते हैं। कहा है आज सभी बच्चे चुप हैं। तो इस वाक्य में आपको बताना है कि इस उद्देश्य क्या है और विधेय क्या है, तो इनको छांट कर अलग अलग लिखना है। तो आज सभी बच्चे चुप हैं, इसमें उद्देश्य है आज सभी बच्चे, ये क्या है? उद्देश्य। तो इसको हम क्या लिखेंगे? उद्देश्य के नीचे। और बाकी जो बचा है चुप है वो विधेय है, वो विधेय के नीचे लिखेंगे। खा है नरेंद्र दत्त खड़े हो जाओ। तो इस वाक्य में उद्देश्य क्या है? नरेंद्र दत्त। इसमें उद्देश्य क्या है? नरेंद्र दत्त। तो यहाँ पर नरेंद्र दत्त, उद्देश्य के नीचे लिखेंगे और बाकी जो बचा है खड़े हो जाओ वो विधेय के नीचे लिखेंगे। गा नंबर पर आते हैं। गा है अमेरिका की राजधानी न्यूयॉर्क है। गा है अमेरिका की राजधानी न्यूयॉर्क है। तो इसमें उद्देश्य क्या है? अमेरिका की राजधानी अमेरिका की राजधानी क्या है? उद्देश्य। और जो बचा है न्यूयॉर्क है, ये क्या है? विधेय। इसके बाद घ है वेणुगोपाल जी उग्र स्वभाव वाले अध्यापक हैं। तो वेणुगोपाल जी क्या है? उद्देश्य है। गोपाल जी उद्देश्य है और उग्र स्वभाव वाले अध्यापक है, ये क्या है? ये विधेय है। इसको विधेय के नीचे लिखेंगे। एक बार फिर से देखते हैं। का है आज सभी बच्चे चुप हैं। इस वाक्य में उद्देश्य है आज सभी बच्चे और जो बचा है चुप है वो क्या है? विधेय है। दूसरा है नरेंद्र नाथ दत्त खड़े हो जाओ। तो इसमें नरेंद्र नाथ दत्त उद्देश्य है, खड़े हो जाओ क्या है? विधेय है। गा है अमेरिका की राजधानी न्यूयॉर्क है। तो इसमें अमेरिका की राजधानी क्या है? उद्देश्य है और न्यूयॉर्क है वो विधेय है। गा है वेणुगोपाल जी उग्र स्वभाव वाले अध्यापक हैं। तो इसमें वेणुगोपाल जी क्या है? उद्देश्य है और उग्र स्वभाव वाले अध्यापक हैं, ये क्या है? विधेय है। अब आते हैं दूसरे अभ्यास कार्य में। निम्नलिखित शब्दों से वाक्य बनाइए। तो इसमें पहला शब्द क्या है? इशारा। तो इसका हम क्या बनाएंगे? बच्चे कक्षा में एक दूसरे को इशारा कर रहे थे। आप कोई दूसरा वाक्य भी बना सकते हैं। दूसरा क्या है? प्रसन्नता। दूसरा शब्द क्या है? प्रसन्नता। तो इसमें हम क्या बनाएंगे? वेणुगोपाल जी को नरेंद्र की सत्यता देखकर प्रसन्नता हुई। वेणुगोपाल जी को नरेंद्र नाथ की सत्यता देखकर प्रसन्नता हुई। गा है सत्य, तो इसका क्या बनाएंगे? सत्य मनुष्य को ताकत देता है। सत्य मनुष्य को ताकत देता है। आखिरी है प्रयत्न हमें सफलता पाने के लिए निरंतर प्रयत्न करते रहना चाहिए। फिर से देखते हैं। पहला है शब्द इशारा। बच्चे कक्षा में एक दूसरे को इशारा कर रहे थे। दूसरा है प्रसन्नता। वेणुगोपाल जी को नरेंद्र की सत्यता देखकर प्रसन्नता हुई। तीसरा है सत्य। सत्य मनुष्य को ताकत देता है। और आखिरी है प्रयत्न। हमें सफलता पाने के लिए निरंतर प्रयत्न करते रहना चाहिए। तो बच्चों, आपकी मैंने 2 अभ्यास कार्य करा दिए। आगे का अभ्यास कार्य अभी कराती हूँ। अभ्यास संख्या 3 है, दिए गए शब्दों के लिंग बदलिए। अभ्यास संख्या 3 क्या है? दिए गए शब्दों के लिंग बदलिए। मतलब इनको बालक है तो इसका लड़की रूप लिखना है। तो बालक का क्या होगा? बालिका। बालक का बालिका। युवक का युवती। युवक का युवती। लड़का का लड़की। लड़का का लड़की। पिता का माता। पिता का माता। अध्यापक का अध्यापिका। अध्यापक का अध्यापिका। पुरुष का स्त्री। पुरुष का स्त्री। अब दूसरे अभ्यास में आते हैं 4 पे। दिए गए शब्दों के वचन बदलिए। इसमें क्या है? आपको बहुवचन रूप लिखना है। एक वचन दिया हुआ है, इसके आपको बहुवचन रूप लिखने हैं। बच्चा का बच्चे। बच्चा का बच्चे। बेत का बेते। बेत का बेते। हथेली का हथेलियां। हथेली का हथेलियां। प्रश्न का प्रश्नों। प्रश्न का प्रश्नों। गुरु का गुरुओं। गुरु का गुरुओं। आवाज का आवाजें। आवाज का आवाजें। आपकी 4 भी हो गई है। अब 5 कराते हैं। निम्नलिखित शब्दों के विलोम लिखिए। यानी कि विलोम मतलब उसका उल्टा अर्थ। उत्तर का प्रश्न। उत्तर का उल्टा प्रश्न। गुरु का उल्टा शिष्य। गुरु का उल्टा शिष्य। अच्छा का उल्टा बुरा। अच्छा का उल्टा बुरा। देश का उल्टा विदेश। देश का उल्टा विदेश। गलत का सही। गलत का सही। शत्रु का मित्र। शत्रु का मित्र। तो बच्चों, आपके अभ्यास कार्य मैंने पूरे करा दिए हैं। आगे का कार्य मैं आपको नोट। थैंक यू। हैव अ नाइस डे।
A very good morning to the students and everyone those who are watching this video. I am your teacher from Shivaji Hiralal merchant, Hiralal's friend Bholu, Mahin's son Judge. These four are the characters of the story, and let me recall the story. Once there lived a merchant named Hiralal. He was very rich, but at some time there was loss in business, so that loss made him poor. Then he was very sad with the situation, and he decided to move to the abroad. But for moving abroad, he sold out all his favorite things except an iron rod that weighs 100 kilograms. Except this iron rod, he sold out everything to move to the foreign country. Before moving to the foreign country, he really wants to meet his best friend, that is Mahinder. And when he meets with Mahinder, he tells all about his story, means all about his past story to the Mahinder. And Mahinder was really sad with his story and asked to the Hiralal that if you want any help from me, you can ask me. Then Hiralal said, yes, you can help me in one thing, that can you keep my iron rod until when I came back from abroad. Then Mahinder said, of course, why not? I can keep it safely. Then Hiralal moved to the abroad and moved from one country to another for settling his business while earning money. And when he earned enough money in moving one country to another country, then he thought that why he cannot establish his business in his native city. So, establishing his business in native city, he came back to his city and decided to establish his business here. Then after some time, he again became a rich man as he was in previous years. So one day he decided to move to the Mahinder's house to get back his iron rod. Then he went to the Mahinder's house and talked about his whole journey in abroad and asked him that thank you so much for keeping my iron rod when I was in abroad. So Mahinder said, it's okay, not a big deal. Then Hiralal said, I want it back. I want my iron rod back. But Mahinder didn't want to give it back to Hiralal. Then he said that your iron rod was eaten by rats, and sorry, I can't give it back to you. Then Mahinder said, it's not possible. How can rat eat the iron rod? Then he thought a plan in his mind that he thought that I think Mahinder was not Mahinder didn't want to give that, return that iron rod to me. Then he decided a plan in his mind and asked to Mahinder that, dear best friend, it's okay if rats are eaten that iron rod, but I have something for you that I got a expensive gift for you from abroad, but I forget it at my home. Here, after this story we have completed. Now, student, open your book at page number 21. Last paragraph, third line. Will you please send your son with me so that I can give him your gift? Can you please, then Hiralal asked to Mahinder, can you please send your son with me that I can give that expensive gift to him for you? So he sent his son. So Mahinder asked to his son Bholu that you can go with him. Bholu along with Hiralal. In his heart, Hiralal thought that Hiralal that it's very good thing that how cool is he? That he is giving me his son as a gift. Now, turn your page. Hiralal took Bolu along with him. Then Hiralal took means Hiralal and Bolu moved walking each other to Hiralal's home and gave it. Then Hiralal gave chocolates and cookies to Bolu for Bolu to eat. He also gave him some toys to play with. Then Hiralal gave some cookies, chocolates and toys to play and eat to Bolu. After some time, Bolu got tired and slept. After some time, Bolu, after playing with that toys, after eating so much cookies and chocolates, he really felt tired and got slept in that Hiralal's house. Mahinder got worried when Bolu did not return till evening. Then Mahinder was really worried about his son that he didn't went back to his home, and this time is evening time. Where is he? Then he really worried about that incident. So he went to Hiralal. Then with this worried, Mahinder went to Hiralal's house and asked to Hiralal that where is my son? Means my son Bolu has not returned home yet. Where is he? He asked in a very rude way that my son Bolu has not returned home yet. That my son didn't reach home till this time. Where is he? You take him to your house. Okay. So Hiralal said, my dear friend. Then Hiralal said, my dear friend, I can't send your son back to your home. Then Hiralal said, sorry Mahinder, I can't give your son back to you. When we are coming, means Hiralal explained him that when we are moving through the road, when we are coming to my house, an eagle came down and eagle reached down and caught Bolu and catch up to Bolu and flew away. Means when we are walking towards my house, an eagle came down, caught Bolu and flew away. And before I could do anything, and I can't did anything at that time. It was just happened suddenly. Hearing this, Mahinder grew very angry and said to Hiralal, with hearing this incident that eagle came down, caught Bolu and flew away, Hiralal means Mahinder replied very angrily and reacted very angrily and said to Hiralal that how can an eagle fly with a 10-year-old boy? That Mahinder asked to Hiralal with a very angry and rude manner that how can an eagle fly with a 10-year-old boy? It's impossible. Then you are making fool to me. You are making fool. Is I making fool to you? So he further said angrily. Then Mahinder said angrily after that, you have to come to the court for this unkind act. That you have to come to the court for the thing you have did with my son. Come with me. Come with me. Hiralal agreed to go to the court and the court went to the judge. Then Hiralal agreed with the Mahinder. Then of course I can come with you at the court. So they both came to the court and meet to the judge. Okay, students, after this we have studied today and rest of the story we will continue in the next video. So write down your homework. Reread the story of chapter 3rd. So students, thank you so much and have a great day.
Good morning students. This is your history teacher from Shivaji Group of Institutions. Here welcome you all in the online classes. So students, this is your 5th period of history of class 4. So before start today's class, let's recall what we have learned in the last class. So in the last class we had read this chapter, that is lesson 2, the Northern Mountains, and in those classes we had read about the Northern Mountains, its location, and after that we had read about the 3 mountain ranges gardens of Himalayas, that how Himalaya mountains are useful and helpful for us. And after that we started the topic that the states that are located in the northern mountains, and in which we had read about Jammu and Kashmir, Uttarakhand, Himachal Pradesh, Sikkim. So today we will read about the next state, that is West Bengal. West Bengal. So today we will read about this state. So West Bengal is the state which has several neighboring states and countries. Like on its eastern border there is a state, there is a country of Bangladesh, and to the northeast lies the two states, that is Sikkim and Assam, and the country Bhutan lies in the east. And to the southwest lies the state of Odisha, and to the west it borders the state of Jharkhand, and to the west side there is the state of Jharkhand and Bihar, and in the northwest there is the state which is Nepal. So now we will read about Darjeeling is a hill station in West Bengal having beautiful hill resorts. It is situated in the northern part of West Bengal. It has many tea gardens on the hill slope. So the famous hill station of West Bengal is Darjeeling. So as you all know that Darjeeling is famous for its tea. So this state has large tea plantation. Hill station of Darjeeling is hill station of West Bengal. And this hill station and this state has a large tea plantation, and this is many tea gardens on a hill slope. So it is this state has mountainous, and there are some hills because it is a hill station. So on these hills there is the plants of tea, and large tea plantation is the occupation here. So now we will read about the northeastern states, the seven sisters. The northeastern states. So in the northeast of India there are seven states, and these seven states are known as seven sisters. So now we will read about these seven sisters. These states are known as seven sisters. So the first state is, what is the name of those states? The first state is Arunachal Pradesh. Second is Assam. Third is Meghalaya. Fourth is Nagaland. Fifth is Manipur. Sixth is Tripura. And seven is Mizoram. These are the seven states that are located in the northeast India, and these states are known as seven sisters. So firstly we will read about, towards the east the Himalayan ranges spread across the seven states. These are, so towards the east border, to the east of the Himalayan range spread seven states, and these are the name of the states which are known as seven sisters. Assam is the biggest state in this region. Its capital is Dispur. It has large tea plantations. So what is the capital of Assam? Dispur is the capital of Assam. Okay, and it has large tea plantation where thousands of people work. The main occupation of the people of Assam is tea plantation. Shillong is the capital. What is the capital of Meghalaya? The capital of Meghalaya is Shillong. It is a beautiful hill station. The state receives the heaviest rainfall in the country. People of this state belong to Garo, Khasi, Jatia tribes. So, this is the state which has the heaviest rainfall in the India. And it is a beautiful hill station. And in this state, people of the state belongs to some tribes that are those are Garo, Khasi, Jatia. So tribes means in Hindi you can say Janjatiya. So the people of the states are mostly the tribes which are belong to Garo, Khasi and Jatia tribes. Okay. And what is the meaning of Meghalaya? Meghalaya means abode of cloud, means home of cloud. Next state is Nagaland. Nagaland is the home of the Nagas and its capital is Kohima. The capital of Nagaland is Kohima. Kohima is the capital. And this state is the home of Nagas because the Naga tribe lived in this state. The Nagas wear colorful shawls of different designs. We can identify by the tribe of Nagas by seeing the pattern of their shawls. So, the people of Naga land wear a different type of shawl. So, how we can identify the people of Naga tribe? So, we can identify the people of Naga tribe by looking at the pattern of their shawls. Now, the next state is the Manipur. So, the capital of Manipur is Imphal. Is the capital. Imphal is the capital of Manipur. Manipur dance is famous all over the country and Manipur means the land of jewels. So in Hindi, the word money, in Hindi we can say the word money is used for Manipur. So it is this state's name is built from the word money, which meaning is gem. In Hindi you can say Ratna Mani. So this is made of Manipur. So that's why this state is known as land of jewels. Mizoram. The capital of Mizoram is Azor. Azor is the capital of Mizoram and Mizoram means land of hill people. It is situated in the south of the region. Its capital is Azor. The main language of the state is Mizo. The main language of Mizoram is Mizo. People of this state speak Mizo language. Mizoram has the second highest literacy rate in India. So, according to the population and according to the records, Mizoram is the second country which has the highest literacy rate in the India. Second highest. The first one maybe was Assam, and after that, the second one is Mizoram, which has the highest literacy rate. Means the people of this state are literate, are educated. Tripura. Tripura is surrounded by Bangladesh on the three sides. Tripura is the state which is surrounded by the country Bangladesh from three sides and its capital is Agartala. The capital of Tripura is Agartala. The people of the state make beautiful things from cane and bamboos. So the occupation of this state, peoples of the states is that they make the handicrafts from by the use of bamboo and cane. So students, now we have read about all the states. So, what is the capital of the last state? That is Arunachal Pradesh. I have explained. The capital Theta letter. Theta letter is the capital. So students, now this chapter is finished. We have given all the topics of this chapter, and here you can see in a box. Did you know Mary Kom is a boxer from Manipur, is the only woman boxer to have won a medal in each one of the 6 world championships. So you very well know the lady whose name is Mary Kom. She is a boxer. She won several gold medals in the national championships, and she belongs from the Manipur. She is from Manipur. So students, now this chapter is finished. Now what are today's homework? Today's homework is learn one long answer of lesson 1. This is your today's homework. You have to learn one long answer of lesson 1. So students, that's all. Thank you for attending this class. Now we will meet in our next class.
Hello, good morning students. I welcome you all in our online classes. I'm the math teacher from Shivaji Group Institutions. So students, as you know that this is your 4th period of maths, okay? Students, as you know that we have started our chapter 3rd. So we are in chapter 3rd, okay? Chapter 3rd. And what is the name of 3rd chapter? Fractional numbers. Fractional numbers. Okay. And we have started our second exercise in 3rd chapter in our studies class. And also I have give you question number A and B to solve in homework, and also we have in fraction which is in downside, d for down, d for denominator. So the number which is in downside, that is called denominator. So rest number which is in upper side, that is called numerator. Okay. The same in this, the number which is in downside, d for d for down, d for denominator. So the number which is in downside, that is called denominator. So we will write 12 in the denominator, and the rest number, that is 7, we will write that in the numerator. Okay. In this fraction, the number which is in downside, d for down, d for denominator, 22, we will write in the denominator, and the number which is in the upper side, in the numerator, we will write here, that is 13. Okay. So student, this is your question number C. Like this, you can solve this question. Now we will solve question number D, which is write a fraction whose. Question number D is write the fraction whose. Okay. So whose. The first question is numerator is 4 and the denominator is 7. Numerator is 4 and denominator is 7. So how can you write the fraction for it? I told you the denominator which you will write in the downside, because d for down and d for denominator. So first we will write denominator, which is 7. So write denominator 7 in the downside, and the upper side we will write the numerator. Numerator is 4. Okay. So like this you can write fraction from, if you have numerator and a denominator. Okay. Now come question number E. How many 1/5 are then you will get 6 upon 6, you will get the whole. It means 1. Okay. So how many 6 are in the whole? It means how many 1 6 are in the whole? So you will say 6. Okay. So now I am going to give you homework. You have to do the rest questions of question number D, C, E and F in your homework. Okay. So your homework is complete question number C, D, E, F. I have done E here, so only F. C, D, F of exercise 3B, page number 32. Okay. So students, this is all about today. I will continue this chapter in our next class, and thank you to all for attending today's class. Okay.
A very good morning to the students and everyone those who are watching this video. I am your teacher from Shivaji Group of Institutions. We are welcome you all in the online classes. This is your third period and I am going to continue third chapter of your science, that is the digestive and excretory systems. In the previous video, we have studied about the process of digestion. Let's recall the process of digestion. First of all, food that we take from the mouth cavity. Be taken from the mouth, move to the food we take in the mouth, the teeth helps to chew, bite or grind the food, and saliva helps to make the food soft, and then food moves to the trachea, then food moves to the food pipe. Here, the muscles present in the food pipe helps the food to push it to the downwards. Then, in the liver, the digestive juices are present here, and after moving to the liver, the food moves to the stomach, where food stays. For 4 to 6 hours, and the HCl present in the lining of the stomach helps the food to convert into liquid form. Then the liquid form of food moves to the small intestine. Where absorption of nutrients occur, and the absorption of nutrients occurred in the small intestine will flow in the blood with the help of blood vessels to move different parts of the body. Okay? And the undigested food, that is roughage, which is left over from the small intestine that we get from fruit and vegetable, move to the large intestine. Moves to the large intestine, and then the lining of large intestine absorbs sorry, it is rectum where undigested food or roughage is stored. Rectum. Then after rectum, the undigested food move to the anus. Then it move outside to the body. This is the whole process of digestion we have studied yesterday. So students, open your book at at page number 34. Here, the role of liver and pancreas. Today we study about role of liver and pancreas. Role of liver and pancreas. Liver secretes a digestive juice called bile. Liver secretes a digestive juice called bile. Secrete digestive juice called bile. This bile helps in breakdown of fat. This helps to break down of fats. And then the pancreas also secrete digestive juice that helps in digestion. Pancreas also secrete digestive juice called pancreatic juice. Helps in digestion. Okay, so the role of liver is to secrete digestive juice, which is bile, which helps to mix with the food and to break down of fats. Okay, and the pancreas, role of pancreas is to release digestive juice called pancreatic juice, which helps the food, which helps in the digestion process. Okay. Next, come to the need of chewing food. Next heading is need of chewing food. Need of chewing food. Okay, so let's read about the benefits. Proper chewing of food is necessary. Some of the benefits are as follows. Chewing helps in swallowing the food easily. It helps to swallow food easily. First point. Second point, this process releases saliva. Saliva digests starch and makes our food soft. Release saliva and make food soft. Okay, and the third point is proper chewing converts food into a smaller pieces and helps move through the oesophagus or food pipe. Breaking of food into small pieces. Next, it strengthens our teeth, gums and jaws. Strength, teeth, jaws. Okay, and next it helps in release of digestive enzymes and thus simplifies and simplifies digestion. These are the benefits for the chewing of food. First one, it helps to swallow food easily. Second one, release saliva and make your food soft. Third point, breaking of food into small pieces. Fourth, strengthens teeth and jaws. Last one, release digestive enzymes and simplifies digestion. So these are the need of chewing food for the proper digestion. So students, that's all for today, and write down your homework. Revise the explained topics. You have to revise the process of